Why won't you die?
DLC, son. It funds game development in response to being purchased. You're not getting a Xenoverse 3, Jack. Even after 7 years, there are still a handful of things a Xenoverse 2 can add, including new characters that are not just the mystery person from the trailer that they can do for this game. And I'll be going over that now. So first of all, this may be a surprise, but base Broly is pretty possible. He has a model in Dragon Ball the card game. But the interesting thing is that this is an Xenoverse style model using Xenoverse animations. Aside from all the cool or mystery unique characters they could add, this would be a pretty easy pick considering they have a rigged model and won't have to innovate too much in terms of skill. And Broly is a fan favorite, so I guess people would like more Broly. They could throw him in with another character in a future DLC pack. I'm thinking what they did with Buhan, for example. They could also give him a standard, not legendary Super Saiyan, but a normal Super Saiyan transformation. I think this would be a neat little thing to throw in, along with some of the more hard-hitting characters. And speaking in terms of innovating skills, based on what's already been happening, they are probably going to revamp a good handful of skills or ultimates to be more cinematic. The festival-style skills have already been getting great feedback, such as the Super Saiyan Spirit Bomb, and I think they're going to do more original stuff. Maybe something like, I don't know, Super Vegeta Final Flash. They could do a lot of great stuff, and this would work to easily increase the longevity of the game. Next, colorable clothing. I straight up think they're going to have colorable variations of almost all clothing in the game, because they already started doing it. And as someone who mods this game, this could be done pretty easily. And I know a lot of people like to claim that, oh, why haven't the developers done X, Y, and Z when modders have done it? And 99% of the time, they're wrong. They don't take into account a lot of things. But in this one case, if there's anything they're going to do, I can say with confidence that it would be colorable clothing. My evidence? Right before this update dropped, I was literally about to make a tutorial on how to make any or every clothing item in the game colorable. Only stopped by the fact that they started doing it before me. If you still want that tutorial, tell me, but I scrapped it when I saw what they were doing because I didn't see a point. I really think they're going to make a majority of the clothes colorable, so I don't see why they wouldn't continue, especially when some other modders have found proof of more colorable clothing incoming. Next is obvious because they straight up said it, but new story. The new trailer says new story scenario and has voice lines hinting at something. Along with that, new character people want to know about. I made a video about that yesterday. Could they be expanding on Infinite History or doing something similar? Well, I
don't know.
But we're getting more story chapters or story-like chapters, and since, well, there's nothing really left in the series, this could be a completely original story. I think it's Dragon Ball Heroes or Dragon Ball Online stuff, but it's anybody's guess. One more is an improvement to graphics or crossplay. They announced the PlayStation 5 and Xbox something versions of the game, and while they could just be ports with maybe higher frame rates or slightly different effects, they could also stand to do some sort of graphics update, or at least crossplay so that the online could last a little bit longer for a larger pool of players. That would also support the idea that they are trying to increase the longevity of the base game. Now, transformations. They have been revamping and fixing a good deal of stuff lately, and it was found, including by me, that Breakers has transformed variants from multiple hair. All of those hairs which are in Xenoverse 2. I could see this possibly being added to Xenoverse 2 if Breakers has it, considering how people have been asking for it since Xenoverse 1. And not only that, but I have seen firsthand that those hairs in Breakers hyped a lot of people up. So transferring that to XV2 would go with their agenda of improving the game a lot and drawing a lot of attention to it. I'm only saying this because they exist in Breakers, however, and I don't expect them to keep on making new hairs and stuff, right? So I think for Super Saiyan 1, they'd have the hair spike up, and then that same hair would be used across Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan Blue, Evolution, and maybe Ultra Instinct. I do not expect them to make a new hair for every transformation they have added over the years. Now, the more speculative stuff, Super Saiyan 4 or new transformations. The only reason I've even entertained this in any of my videos is because it seems like they're doing everything to break the mold with XV2 and really give it one last win to make the game valuable before they potentially stop, watch this age poorly, or announce Xenoverse 3. Now, this is one of those things I mentioned earlier that people would make false equivalence with the devs for. since implementing Super Saiyan 4 officially would be different than how it's done through mods. But the increasing quality and effort of the developers doesn't rule it out, considering how popular of a request it was. I'm sure it's something they've been thinking of for a long time. So I'd say it's possible for sure, more possible than ever, but don't get mad if it doesn't happen. Set your dreams high, but your expectations low. That's a saying, right? But other transformations might also be possible. A commenter on a video from a couple of days ago brought this up. Shout out to Caveman. They said the green color in the roadmap could hint to Legendary Super Saiyan. They're potentially holding Super Saiyan 4 as the last one, shown by the blue where they dropped UI, the green for the next part of the roadmap, and the red for the final part. At least I think that's what they were insinuating. I don't think this is likely, as I already have my reservations with Super Saiyan 4, but it's something interesting. In terms of implementation, it would also be difficult to have the character grow in size, so I wrote it off at first. But then I realized there is a sort of half measure they can do. A transformation like Kale or Kefla with green aura and green hair. It could be added just to please people without making something too difficult, and they could add a transformation like this. It could change moveset, change ki blasts, and have a unique type of boost. Maybe giving Saiyan something kind of cool like Turn Golden does. Other transformations are also potentially Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, which already exists as a skill exclusively for Goku, and they could transfer it to Saiyans if they just wanted to throw them one more transformation. It would be incredibly easy, although if I remember, it drains a lot of health, so it could either be really bad or really broken. Plus, I personally think it's raw, so let's have it. Let's go. So now, for what I think won't happen. Well, this is bound to be an unpopular opinion, but the manga characters. The manga characters like Ultra Ego Vegeta, Black Frieza, Moro have not showed up in Dokkan or Heroes, and they are not in the anime. For comparison, Dokkan had Goku Black and UI Goku like frame 1 to line up with the anime, while not a whiff of any manga exclusive characters. And I guarantee they want to use them, because they have been reusing the same characters for a while for their celebrations. I think there are straight up rights issues or some sort of embargo on them, because they want to save the marketing efforts for the anime debut, which doesn't seem to be in sight anytime soon. On the other hand, Heroes has had a Western release for consoles and PCs, gets consistent yearly events in Dokkan. Manga characters, for whatever reason, are this black sheep that haven't been allowed to be used for everything. And Daima, whatever your opinion on that is, it doesn't seem to be any adaptation of anything in the manga. So I don't think that happens at all unless manga stuff appears either in the anime or in some sort of material outside the manga itself, like another game, right? Xenoverse has never really been the first to have these characters added. So if it's not in some other form, it's not going to be in Xenoverse. So that's what I think is most likely for Xenoverse 2's future, based off already existing precedent and personal knowledge about how the game works. But I'm actually interested in your ideas and theories, because comments have helped me speculate stuff before, right? I just mentioned one. And if you want more potential content, subscribe. If you want, because I've actually been pretty excited lately with both the huge Xenoverse 2 update and people actually starting to pay attention to my Xenoverse 2 content. I'm pretty grateful now and have some cool ideas I've been wanting to try out, not just discussion videos of me talking at you. Anyways, comment, rate, subscribe, whatever. I'm Jack Keck. Peace out.